Nobody chooses hardship. Nobody lies awake hoping for the loss, the failure, the moment when everything they built comes apart. But almost everyone who has lived through something genuinely difficult will tell you the same thing. They wouldn't trade the person it made them for anything. Here is what the science and the lived experience both say about why. The thing nobody tells you about hard times. There is a comforting phrase that gets passed around during difficult moments. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It sounds true, but it is only half the picture. Adversity doesn't automatically make you stronger. Plenty of people go through devastating experiences and come out of them diminished, angrier, more fearful, more closed off than they were before. The difficulty alone is not the teacher. What you do with the difficulty is the teacher. Psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun spent decades studying people who had lived through serious trauma, loss, illness, catastrophic failure, profound grief. What they found was not that suffering automatically produces growth. It was that a specific kind of growth became possible after suffering that simply was not possible before it. They called it post-traumatic growth, a genuine, measurable expansion of perspective, empathy, and personal strength that tends to emerge in people who actively process what they went through rather than simply surviving it. The key word is process, sitting with it, understanding it, letting it change you rather than just endure you. What hardship actually reveals. There's another truth about adversity that is harder to say but more useful than the easy versions. Adversity doesn't build character as much as it reveals it. It strips away the comfortable layers, the routines, the distractions, the identity we perform for the world, and shows us who we actually are underneath all of that. Sometimes what gets revealed is strength we didn't know we had. Sometimes it is a weakness we had been successfully avoiding. Almost always it is both. This is why setbacks feel so disorienting at first. It is not only because circumstances have changed, it is because the version of yourself you had constructed in easier times no longer fully applies. You have to rebuild your understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. And that process, as uncomfortable as it is also one of the most clarifying experiences a person can have. The person who emerges on the other side of real difficulty is almost never the same person who entered it. They have a more accurate picture of themselves. They know which values were actually theirs and which ones they had simply inherited without examination. They know what they can survive. That knowledge changes every decision that follows.
The specific gifts that only hardship gives. Comfort is valuable. Rest is necessary. But there are specific capacities that only difficulty can develop, and the research consistently identifies the same ones. Empathy deepens after personal struggle in a way that secondhand knowledge of other people's pain never quite produces. When you have felt genuine loss, you relate to loss in others differently. The connection is not intellectual. It is immediate and real. Perspective recalibrates. Things that once felt urgent, small embarrassments, minor conflicts, the endless noise of daily friction, stop carrying the same weight after you have lived through something that genuinely mattered. You know the difference between a problem and an inconvenience in a way that cannot be taught. It can only be earned. And the relationship with fear changes fundamentally, not because fear disappears, but because you have evidence now that you survived the thing you were afraid of. That evidence stays with you. It becomes the quiet confidence that sits underneath everything that comes after. The hardest seasons of your life are not proof that something went wrong. They are often the beginning of something that couldn't have started any other way. Rise at your own pace, but rise. Like and subscribe for more videos on building a life that actually holds. Thanks for watching.